Welcome back to Sydney Olympic Park and ANZ Stadium, and I would imagine packed very close to capacity. I think the figure is around about 83,800. That's with every seat full, but I think about 82,500 would just about stop it these days, and don't be surprised if we're pretty close to that. The Blatchies Blues, they make a sky blue effect, don't they? They close in that northern end of the ground, and we go to the camera looking back down over the top of the Blatchies Blues. It is a magnificent supporter organisation. They go to great lengths, and let me assure them, if they're listening, that the players certainly enjoy their company and their support. Queenslanders, of course, they're here fighting to save the series, and they've brought with them a healthy group of supporters at the same time. Last instructions coming from the captain on his 41st game of Origin, his 20th captaincy, Cameron Smith, who debuted in Game 3, 2003. Can you believe that? And he's only missed one game since all of that. So Queensland will be coming out first, quite obviously. This is Game 2 of the 36 series. And Game 2, to me, well, it's the one I like so much. It's the one that introduces, for the first time, that sudden death factor to the series. It also brings out that ultimate effort to survive and live to fight another day. And that's what I like about Game 2. So here he is, Cameron Smith, this outstanding leader, not only of Australia, the Melbourne Storm, but also for Queensland. And right behind him, of course, Billy Slater. There's going to be a roar go up here now. Well, there's no doubt the Maroons will be doing all they can to survive. As I said, it's about success and survival. This one, success for New South Wales, shuts it down. And of course, survival for Queensland will see the Blues go north of the border on Jonathan Thurston's farewell. Boyd Cordner takes the Blues out, third youngest captain of New South Wales. Brad Fittler and Laurie Daly were younger. They won the first game in Brisbane, as you know, by a considerable margin. So the players will come and observe the national anthem in just a moment or so. So the prospect, of course, is there for this team, the New South Wales VB Blues. Lose this one, you go to Suncorp. And of course, the ponderables are many. They've only won 2 deciders at Suncorp Stadium. On 10 occasions they've been there to win 2. So that places even more pressure on what has to be done for them tonight. Let's go down to the ground. Here comes the anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem, to be performed by Lucy Durack from the hit musical The Wizard of Oz, returning to Australia in November.
Us
So New South Wales have been in this exact situation 7 times before, and they've won 6 of those games. The exception was 1987 when they lost game 2 at the cricket ground and game 3 at Lang Park.
Yeah, just the 5 times, Ray, in the last 13 seasons that New South Wales have had a chance to wrap up the series in game 2. It's a great opportunity, but this Queensland side, with the inclusion of a couple of champions, and I don't use that term lightly, the Australian winger, 3 rookies, so I don't think will play a lot of minutes, so they'll be fairly frenetic minutes from those 3 men coming in. Of course, Gavin Cooper, the experienced player who was there in last year's series.
And Pete, the coaching staff of Queensland, Trevor Gilmore, Alan Langer, have told me that what a difference it has been from game 1 to game 2 to have both Billy Slater and Jonathan Thurston back in the side. So the talk's been enormous. So here we go.
Jonathan Thurston missing just that 1 game to break that consecutive run of 36 straight. One of the 2 big names back in this side tonight. So will this ultimately be the decider, or do we have to wait another 21 days?
The unusual looking at there, Ray, at the Queensland centre, Darius Boyd with number 4 on his back. New personnel and a new position for Darius.
He has played 18 times in the centres. Went at the Broncos, and here's the kickoff. Here we go. Origin 2 is underway, and it's the Blues coming away from the southern end of the ground, and it's Aaron Woods, the first man tackled, about 12 metres out from his own line as Nathan Peets gives the ball away to Josh Jackson, and he's put down by another Josh out there tonight, Josh Maguire. Jared Wallace getting involved again in the second tackle of the match. And so now the captain, Boyd Cordner, 25 years of age. Nathan Peets, and then to Aaron Woods, the opening play. He got through that tackle of Cameron Smith, and it was left then to Gavin Cooper and Josh Maguire to make the tackle. Pearce it is who kicks, looking for his first series victory. This is his 6th attempt at State of Origin. The young number 7 in peak form at the moment, and Valentine Holmes rattled up by a big tackle from Woods. Ball comes spewing out. It's been called a knock on. Woods really got under the ribcage here of Valentine Holmes. On debut in this match, along with 3 others.
Well, it's a great hit from Aaron Woods. Queensland completed their first 18 sets of 6 in game 1, and here on tackle 1 of game 2, Valentine Holmes comes up with a fumble. It was helped out by Woods, but he had his man down. So Queensland will have to defend their line early in this contest.
Right, down we go, all the way in, Billy.
So this scrum in midfield, as you can see, 35 metres out, and an early chance here for the Blues as the ball finds its way over there to Dugan. Playing it on the 40-metre line then, so just a little loss in ground. Jackson again. He's already beaten Cameron Smith on 1 occasion, and he almost broke through again. Now Frizzell, he takes a run away to Pearce, and he comes around the back to Maloney, goes short, and New South Wales are on the 20-metre line then. With the ball played by Cordner, and now it's gone to Fafita, and he gets the ball out the back, and luckily it came down to one of his teammates. It was a bit of a speculator. Boyd was looking for it. It was taken by Jackson. Now here's Frizzell, and he's hit hard. Put down on the 20-metre line.
Yeah, they lost their way there, New South Wales. Last tackle. Tyson Frizzell receiving the football. The 6 and the 7 need to take control there as Napa brings it forward.
So a front row, including your bench front row, with little experience. It's a problem that Queensland have got this year, particularly with the loss of Matt Scott. Here's Cronk with a big dummy, and then he exploded up to the halfway line. He's lost the ball. It'll be a penalty. Matt Checken putting the arm up.
Next one. Sorry. The lady with the ball. Church.
Yeah, it's a really nice luxury to get the first penalty of the game. Really gets you on the front foot in a couple of different ways. Cameron Smith will find touch around the 20-metre line. And New South Wales now under the pump defensively early in this game.
The Maroons have recovered from a 1-0 deficit to go on and win the series 5 times, 82-83, 06-08 and more recently 2013. Here they are with a good attacking opportunity, but it is early on, and that's Maguire who play the ball inside the 20-metre line. Smith then goes over to the middle to Cronk, to Thurston. Slater comes in, turns it back inside for Boyd. And Darius will play the ball 5 metres out from the southern try line, down at the freeway end of the ground. And here's Smith going out for a second man. Cronk, Chambers now, sliding New South Wales defence, goes into touch. Tackle was Jared Hayne.
Well, their first attacking set of 6, Queensland, a big sweeping play to the left-hand side of the field. Slater involved. Then they come back to the right-hand side of the field. Jared Hayne allows Chambers to get on his inside, then drives hard from the inside. Morris assists, and he runs out of sideline there. Good defence by the Blues, but interesting that Queensland go very wide very early.
Telecast coming from the 9 network here in Australia, around the country, and to just under 100 countries around the world on replay or live. As Morris takes a run, the ground conditions, the expert on that is Brad Fittler.
She's had 3 haircuts since 1 o'clock this morning, Rab. She's about 28 mil. They tell me they've been putting some dew suppressant on it, which has worked okay. But the golden rule, if you play here at night, you can't be running this edge 10 metres. You're always going to get thrown out.
So here's Woods. He's able to get it back, and Pete's got it on. Pearce was there waiting. Now Cordner. Queensland right up in their face. Chambers was the first man to arrive. Gillett and Smith arriving a fraction later. Jackson, he's very prominent early, isn't he, Josh Jackson? The youngster from Gulgong and Mudgee. He played some junior football with Jared Wallace, ironically, who's on debut for Queensland. Under 12s, I think it was. Here's Gagai, 5 matches, 5 tries.
That was an outstanding set defensively from Queensland, forcing Pearce to kick deep in his own territory.
Slater's underneath that tackle. Now run for Holmes, and the corner is low. A couple of the forwards go up top, and away they go to Chambers. He had a little juggle, good tackle though, and it's Jackson again. We'll put him down for overtime in the opening section. He's been in everything, Josh Jackson. In fact, I think he won the Brad Fittler medal last year for the New South Wales best player. If he keeps this up, he'll win everything. Now, Ferguson. This is his 6th origin, Blake. He's still looking for a try. Morris now. One of the heroes of 2014. The heroics of him and Josh in game 1 were just outstanding. Played by Woods then. Tedesco's off. Ran a long way, went past the markers. Got to the 10-metre line. Pearce goes high. Down to Gagai. Well taken by Dane.
And New South Wales are thriving on those quick play the balls like the one we just saw from Aaron Woods. It allowed Tedesco to have a scoop and make 10-15 metres easily. So Queensland have to watch that. They've got to slow that down somehow.
And Slater, the door was half open at marker, so he pinched 10 metres. This man's working overtime as well, Chambers. They're getting a lot of help from their outside men, the forwards I mean. Gillett. Slater's on his back, taken down.
Slater off the ball.
And he's been penalised, the tackler.
James.
Slater tackled off the ball. That's the ruling.
Yeah, Billy Slater backing up on the inside. James Maloney gives him a little bit of a bump. I'm not sure it's worthy of a penalty, but that's the way the pocket referee saw it.
Yeah, when it comes to Origin, that was fairly benign, wasn't it? There wasn't much in that.
First set of 6, they went wide to the left, then wide to the right, 2 plays in a row.
Cooper Cronk has just had a word with Will Chambers. He's the right side centre. Now when he's outside, gone the other way.
So Maguire, Thurston, he double pumped and went to Slater. That's Boydo! Queensland have dived in on the far side of the ground. Valentine Holmes. Let's stay with Matt Check.
Two, mate.
This has been spectacular, the dive.
Just check touchline for us.
He's got to try. He only wants the touchline checked. Boyd played a part, Slater played a part, and he becomes airborne, Valentine. Look at this. Oh, the Cronulla flyer. We're going to go back and have a look at this.
And don't forget it's been called a try on field, so there has to be definitive proof that this green boot touches the white line. I don't see the definitive proof.
Based on the angles available, there's insufficient evidence to determine that the Queensland player has gone into touch.
And therein lies the danger of Darius Boyd and his ability to turn a
And the ball has been grounded in the in goal. Have a decision and going to the board.
A 2-on-1 into a try.
So there's your first points of game number 2. Well, Valentine Holmes is one of the Cronulla players, many of them in this match tonight. And he's another of those that have played for the country before they have played for their state. He comes from Townsville. He played his junior football with the Western Lions, and that has been a superb finish. A blade of grass between he staying in the field of play or going into touch. And Holmes on debut gets the first try of game 2. Game 110, and that was the 600th Origin try in history.
It comes on the back of a penalty, Ray. They are crucial in NRL rounds, but at Origin, they are vital. And James Maloney just a little shoulder into Billy Slater, drew the penalty, kept the pressure on, and that man now has the opportunity to turn 4 into 6.
Well, they don't come much harder than that. 25 out on the touchline. He's bringing it back. The greatest point scorer of all time in Origin. He now needs 6 more points to go to the 100-goal mark for interstate goal kicking. That would be the first player ever to do that. 100 goals in interstate football. Brad Fittler sideline.
Well, all the pressure at the moment on the Blues has come from a couple of silly penalties. James Maloney there, the first one, and Billy Slater. And he got penalised earlier for Holden putting his hand on the ball. It was a beautiful finish by Holmes, but this isn't Cronulla. You can't be giving penalties away like that. You're going to get stung.
And the crisp passing there by the back line was sensational. I spoke to Darius Boyd before the game. He told me he played centres all his life until he was about 18 or 19. So he said, mate, it's not new to me. So I've played there a million times.
And you speak about trust defensively as Josh Maguire brings the ball forward. Josh Dugan had Darius Boyd, Blake Ferguson. Didn't trust enough, came off his man and gave his winger a run to the line.
This is Wallace, one of the 3 Titans in the side, and taken on the run by Tedesco. And Napa it was that came hunting and made the tackle. So Pearce goes to Ferguson now. And Ferguson will be made to play the ball 8 metres his own side of the halfway. We're at the 12-minute mark of the game, and 6-0 in favour of Queensland. Great news for Queensland and for Cronulla. With Holmes scoring on debut, Thurston converting, penalty New South Wales, gives them a good chance.
Their opportunity for the Blues now to go on the attack. It's the first time this series they've been behind on the scoreboard. That's a different dynamic. And we'll look now to see how that influences their mindset, or whether they can ignore the scoreboard and just get on with their game.
So Aaron Woods running very much on purpose at Jared Wallace. And here's Jackson again bumping through a tackle, but then taken by the second tackler. And it was Wallace. It was a hard tackle too. This is Pearce. An indication that that ground is a bit slippery on the top. And here's Fafita now. Down around the legs goes Josh Maguire. That's close to the mark. That's a penalty. I think he's gone for hand on the ball rather than the third tackler in below the knee. I'm not absolutely sure on that, but I thought that was what the penalty was going to be. Third tackler in below the knee. Woods now. 8 metres out. He'll play it back to Nathan Peets. Blindside is ready. Frizzell!
Great tackle, Thurston.
2 metres out by Thurston, the tackle made. Peets again, lofted to Pearce. Dropped down to Jackson. Why wouldn't you go to Jackson? 7 or 8 metres out, middle of the ground, river end of the ground, northern end. Pearce again, Maloney again. It's gone away for Hayne. He's over. That's the equalising try. Wow. Through the hands. And Jared Hayne has scored his 22nd try, is it? No, that takes him level with Michael O'Connor on 11 tries.
They're wonderful hands here. Mitchell Pearce on the Harvey Norman replay to his 5/8 partner James Maloney. Tedesco, Gagai has to come in, and then it's Jared Hayne one-on-one with Cooper Cronk on the back of a penalty.
Minutes gone in this opening half. There is the try scorer on our big screens. New South Wales fans, make some noise tonight for Jared Hayne. That try, number 11, ties.
So Jared Hayne is walking back to his position in company with James Tedesco, who's very much involved in a master-pupil exhibition here tonight.
James Maloney will see this conversion as a challenge. He's just watched Jonathan Thurston plant one from the sideline. These great goal kickers, they love the challenge of their duty just as much as anything.
So from the touchline, 25 out, coming back, flags up. Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, Tyson Frizzell on Jonathan Thurston. He's done that twice already tonight. We saw here. There's a big tackle from Thurston, but I think we'll see more of that tonight. Frizzell trying to test out that shoulder. Then the try. Slater was in the line. Chambers comes out. Gagai needed to be right up Chambers' backside to stop that. Because if you come off the line, you've got to stop the play. They didn't do that. The Maroons, Blues are in.
That's a good point you make, Darren, because there's no doubt that Josh Jackson is playing in the middle of the field, more in the lock forward role, and Frizzell, although named at lock forward, is playing on the right edge to get at Thurston. Look out here.
Wow. Chambers coming together with Hayne. He's fielded the ball.
Now, this was an awkward kickoff that bounced very high. They allowed it to bounce and it went up in the air and took an age to come down. And that's why I said look out, because they're a chance of retrieving it. Watch this, they'll let it bounce. Bang, goes way up in the air, stands on its point. Collision. Great hit by Chambers, brave by Jared Hayne.
The perfect timing, that tackle, wasn't it? It was a ripper.
Great collision.
And then Gagai coming over the top. It was a bit of a stray elbow on that one, not much in it.
It was an awkward kick, wasn't it, from Cameron Smith? It wasn't your standard one that has the normal arc. That was swirling and swaying.
Hold, Cameron, hold!
Now New South Wales on the back foot from the restart.
For the Blues, no one's been better than Josh Jackson in the opening 15 minutes. He's been outstanding in both attack and defence.
So here's Fafita now going back again to Jackson. Paul Vorton in the commentary box with us again tonight on Origin night. With Phil and Peter and of course Darren wetting the crowd down on the sideline. Wally on the panel, front, centre and back as Pearce puts it high, down for Slater, 10 out from his own line, and there's Holmes running into the Cronulla teammate Maloney. Haynes okay, he chased hard on that kick. Now Gagai, what an Origin career he's building, as I said earlier. 5 games, 5 tries. Bound for South Sydney next year. Here's Boyd. As I said, he played 18 games at centre at the Broncos in 07, 08. Played then by Gillett, then to Maguire. And Maguire just basically shunting up to the halfway line, put down by Nathan Peets. Cronk grubbers a kick into touch. Morris doing his best to keep out of the road.
That's an interesting play. He's only picked up 15-20 metres. He didn't throw the ball up in the air for a lottery. He didn't try to put pressure on the back three. He's got it out of play.
It's a very, very strange kick.
Dylan.
You would have thought that to keep more pressure on, the kick goes high, you make sure you don't put it past the dead ball line, you don't put it into the in-goal area, and you're making a tackle 5 to 10 out from your opponent's line, and that's if you don't get a drop ball.
So the scrum 25 away from the Blues line, and Ferguson comes over from his right wing to take the first play.
I guess what I'm saying is I think it's a kick that the Blues would have been delighted with.
Frizzell, I believe, having a needle for that rib cartilage to deaden the pain. Playing with that injury that he's had for a few weeks now. Played then by Dugan. Woods shaping to go to Fafita, but deciding against it and takes the tackle on the halfway line. Yes, that try by Jared Hayne equals Michael O'Connor's New South Wales try-scoring record of 11. Jared involved in his 22nd game. Talking to Michael O'Connor, he landed one of those great goals that we've seen in Origin down through the years. And Gagai leaves the ground. Morris makes the tackle. 10 metres out from the line. We're down at the northern end of the ground on the western side. And here's Chambers, who's been strong. Hayne making that tackle with Jackson. There's Gagai taken by Hayne, and the referee has said play on, that the tackle was broken. I would have thought it was a ball and all tackle by Hayne, but the referee said he broke the tackle. Chambers.
See, there's some collisions out here.
So Cronk drifting at an angle across to Thurston. Cut out ball to Boyd. Boyd gives it on to Holmes, and Ferguson tried to put him into touch, and Pearce has come up with the ball.
Yeah, it was great defence by the Blues. They folded them right across the field. Adventurous from Queensland, looking to spread at their own end of the field. The Blues covered them well.
So Dugan inclined to crab across the ground. Penalty goes to the Blues. Checken saying 10 metres. Gerard Sutton, the assistant referee. I think he's in his 9th game. Now Checken in his 3rd. Ferguson was keen to introduce Holmes to the sideline. And Fafita, he nearly put it down, the big fellow. 28 out now from the Queensland line.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of movement on the benches shortly.
Here's Woods. So 6-all to score, and we've had a quarter of the game. Fafita takes it ahead, the ball goes to ground, and Dugan dives on the ball, which might have been touched, was it? It's Pearce now losing his footing, getting it away. Jackson, Cordner has a juggle. This ball is proving pretty hard to handle for some of them. Cordner then. 8 metres away. Goes from Peets and goes to Maloney, puts a kick in, he wanted the upright. It's made dead by Boyd.
Yeah, the surface is slippery. We've had a few players slipping over there, whether or not they've got the right equipment with them for tonight.
Well, Jimmy Maloney slipped over about 3 times, Gus.
Yeah.
If they've done one thing so far tonight, Queensland, they've kept Fifita quiet. A lot quieter than the first game. They've got him in numbers, they've gone a bit lower, they've lowered their sights in defence tonight, Queensland, which is a good thing. But I think Aaron Woods is more than making up for that. He's been sensational so far, Woods.
We've got Dylan Napa interchange. So too Jared Wallace. Both starting front rowers off for Queensland.
So the dropout from Cameron Smith has been carried back by Andrew Fifita. And as Paul just pointed out, there's always plenty of traffic and plenty of attention given to Fifita tonight. Why wouldn't there be after the job he did in Brisbane 3 weeks ago? Played by Woods, now through Pearce, out to Jackson again. It's 20 metres out. Play coming away, or going away to the eastern side. Pearce, Maloney. Oh, Frizzell got a ball back. I thought for a moment he was actually through the gap. Just inside their own 10 now, played by Holmes. Now Maguire.
Yeah, it's a poor pass from Tyson Frizzell there. It wasn't the last tackle. They had the Maroons on the back foot. David Clemmer out there now. Josh Papali, his first touch.
So Papali would be the senior member, in fact, of the Queensland front row quartet.
And that's Tim Glasby.
So the Melbourne Storm debutant Tim Glasby is out there now as Boyd is pulled down by Pearce. Play getting up towards halfway. Smith, he puts a kick down the ground. It bounces friendly. Tedesco comes back and he runs towards Papali, who might have ankle tapped him, but the main tackle made by Cooper. Now from Clemmer. So Jake Trebojevic is about to come on. Cordner. So Maloney calls it on the left. Maloney goes himself, gets to the 20, picks up Morris. Morris for the line. Morris scores. The Blues' second try. Maloney, he does it. He does it again and again. He's so deceptive.
He's such a good player, isn't he? The 5'8" from Cronulla. And he's the one that makes the break. Tim Glasby's just got on the field and he wasn't up to making this tackle, just fell a slight bit short. That was enough to let him go through the Harvey Norman replay. And then this is a valiant attempt to tackle by Gagai. Morris had some work to do, but he gets there.
There's the reaction from the coach's box. And there is the try scorer tonight, Brett Morris from the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. All came from James Maloney, short side play. Jared Haywood up the inside, Brett Morris on the outside. New South Wales fans, make some noise for your team.
Well, Brett Morris has just scored his fourth try. He's playing in his 14th Origin, and I spoke earlier about the heroics of him and his brother in Game 1 of 2014.
Yeah, he picked the right man, didn't he, James Maloney? And Brett Morris, as Fatty points out, had some work to do. I go back to the kick for the sideline from Cooper Cronk. That was a little bit earlier in the game, but I think that was well received by New South Wales. And since that moment, there's been a little bit of a change.
Yeah, I can feel it. You feel as though New South Wales is winning the collisions, and I've just looked at the post-contact meters. We might throw that stat up for you shortly. And they're well on top in that regard. There's heavy collisions, but the Blues seem to be getting the better of it most of the time. Maloney from nearly the same spot.
He sent it pretty much on the line towards the other upright this time. It's waved away by the touchies. Brad Fittler, a comment.
Yeah, well, everyone is out there slipping around. Have a look at James Tedesco how he brings his ball back. Look at that. Look at that footwork. Straight away got New South Wales on the front foot. And Jimmy Maloney not only spotted Glasby, Will Chambers was caught at marker for a couple of tackles there. Great work from the 5'8" and a good finish by Brett Morris.
It was. When Maloney went through, Jared Hayne cut back to the inside, and I thought, well, if he threw it to him, it would have been a try under the post, but he took the man that he saw, and it was a great finish.
Time you're on, fellas.
By the veteran winger Morris.
And high fives all round on the New South Wales bench. Woods and Fafita welcomed to the bench by Wade Graham, yet to come into the game. Now Trbojevic. And they are good meters from Jake.
That's a great run from Jake Trbojevic because he's come on for Aaron Woods, who was excellent bringing the football out from this end.
So Jackson now, there's Jake Trbojevic, one of these outstanding brothers from Manly. He's put a ball inside for Tedesco. Coming up is Pearce. Pearce is away. Pearce goes in and scores down at the river end. New South Wales in again. Oh, just talking to Trbojevic. And he was absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, he demanded the ball. He'd had a good run earlier in the set of six, came around, he called to the dummy half, put it in my hands, and he read what we read earlier in the game. There was an opportunity for Aaron Woods to run this play with Tedesco earlier. He decided not to do it. Harvey Norman replay into the backfield, Tedesco. He finds Pearce backing up, and Pearce, clean pair of heels, gets in for the Blues 3. That play was on 15 minutes ago. Now it comes up with an important try.
Third try of his origin career. It all started with Trbojevic, an outside-inside ball for the fullback James Tedesco, who then find a lifeline for Pearce. Just under 12 minutes remaining in this opening half. New South Wales now lead 14 points to 6. Blues fans make some noise tonight.
That's his third try. He's playing his 17th origin tonight. Mitchell Pearce. He's had some knockers, but that's 2 tries in as many games this year.
I mean, that try, that was telegraphed. Jake Trbojevic, the way his body was set, the angle of his body, you could see what he was going to do. He was always going to throw an inside pass. He telegraphed it, and Queensland still slack on the inside. There it is. Once I think it was, unfortunately, Glasby come up out of the line. He probably shouldn't have, and then it's all over Red Rover.
And Trbojevic, the run before that was excellent.
I'll tell you what, he's a great player, Jake Trbojevic.
Peninsula man, God's country.
He'll end up being one of Manly's greatest ever back rowers for sure.
So Maloney gets some respite really with a relatively easy kick for him. So another 2 on the New South Wales total. Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, Trbojevic was outstanding in that set. First of all, it was this run here. Heavy contact, but he just keeps his legs pumping. That just gets him on the front foot to slow back the Maroons, and then here's the play. You cannot clock off on Tedesco. If you're at marker and he's inside the ball, you got to chase. They didn't turn up that time, the Maroons. Nice try, Blues.
So we go back to David Clemmer with a strong run, bringing it back to the 20-metre line.
Yeah, I want to give Josh Jackson another rap too. And his support play on the outside. When Jake Trbojevic went up on the first carry, he was on his shoulder. And that means you can't get gang tackled. And one of the pluses for New South Wales in game 1 was the amount of supports. They had 200 supports. And they haven't had that in the past.
Well, there he was again. Josh Jackson just running a support play there for Trbojevic, taking a little bit of attention, taking some of the heat off the ball carrier. He's so busy, this kid from Canterbury.
Thurston hurt his shoulder in that last tackle, attempted tackle.
Oh.
Frizzell, look, it's hanging.
We'll get some close-ups of Jonathan as the Blues kick high. Slater takes it, then sits down to find the turf.
That's a great chase. That's an energy chase, isn't it? Let's have a look at Jonathan Thurston here. He goes up, Frizzell straight into him again, and he comes away with the arm dangling a little.
Keep an eye on that. This is Holmes, who scored the first try of the match. Slater, Thurston, they're bunched up Queensland. Cooper to the halfway line. Now they sort themselves out into what looks more of a conventional formation as Thurston goes high down towards the sideline. It's out. It's out.
Yeah, and that just comes from the great man, probably feeling the right arm a little bit, worried about the pressure coming from the inside, just turned his body a little bit more towards the sideline. He could feel the pressure coming, and you never, ever, ever see that happen. Puts his head in his hands. Even the great ones can feel the pressure at times.
That's last tackle, so we come back to where the ball was kicked. Trebojevic, another carry to the halfway.
What an auspicious entry into the game it's been for Jake Trebojevic. Now for Clemmer, throws the dummy.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. I was trying to be kind, but he'll play the ball now on the 40-metre line. Maloney short for corner, drop back for Maloney, gone over to Peach, and now to Pearce. They don't quite look like they know where they're going with this, but Pearce will play the ball 30 metres out, and Maloney sweeps over to the right and says to Frizzell, come with me, Tedesco, come with me. Frizzell's got the ball. He's 7 metres out. So Pearce, here is Maloney long, Hayne accelerates, still goes, throws the ball, hoping that somebody can grab it.
Oh, I think they bombed one there. Hayne had an unmarked man on the outside, went himself. I think if he gives it, they score.
He's Boyd.
Yeah, no doubt, Paul. No doubt. I think he had a chance to get this to Morris, and I think Morris would have had the chance. I think Morris could have scored from there. He realised he's done the wrong thing and tried to throw the Hail Mary at the end of it.
Yeah, he gave Will Chambers an opportunity to come hard from the inside and drive in the tackle.
Play by Papali now. And a run by Tim Glasby.
It could be a real turning point. Coming back to the 20-metre, 7 tackles.
Slater joins in outside. Cron goes to Chambers. Gagai. Well marked by Morris. There's Gagai again, now giving 5 metres to go forward 5, and Morris has 2 or 3 goes at him.
And Michael Morgan's just got on for the Maroons. He might offer something in attack in the New South Wales quarter.
Cronk away to Thurston, out to Morgan now, and Morgan is pulled down. 4 metres out.
Lost the ball.
He's lost the ball in the tackle.
We're all up, mate. All up.
Talking about the post-contact metres earlier, New South Wales 196 post-contact metres to Queensland 111, and that's a fair gap in 40 minutes of football, and that's the feeling you get in the middle of the field there when the collisions are on offer. The Blues are just getting the better of it a little bit.
A shot of Gavin Cooper there with blood streaming from a wound, as you can see above the right eye. Cooper recalled from 1 game last year, 1 win, 1 game win, 1 series win, and called back for his 2nd match as one of the 7 new faces in the Queensland side tonight. Now Wade Graham goes out there in jumper number 15. He's a quality player to bring off the bench, isn't he, Wade Graham?
Well, that's another mistake here from Clemmer.
Ruck interference, it's hit his knee.
We've got some ruck interference.
We've got a penalty. Pocket referee comes in and says it was knocked from his hand by a knee from a Maroon player. There's the knee, crowding. They'll call that crowding.
It is called crowding.
Yeah. But the New South Wales bench, and this is important, they're all starting players. They're all 80-minute players. They're not bench players at the NRL level. They're starters. And they can go the distance.
Well, that was an outstanding 34 minutes from Josh Jackson. I don't know how, still somewhat underrated, but not amongst his peers.
Trebojevic then aiming himself at the Queensland number 17, Tim Glasby. Played on the 40-metre line. Queensland's end of the ground. Clemmer going to back his way down to the 30-metre line. And we've got just under 5 minutes of the first half to go as they go back inside. Maloney going back inside to Graham. A combination that knows each other inside out from Cronulla. Now Clemmer again running at Glasby. Gavin Cooper goes in. They're 10 metres out. They're leading 16-6. And they're attacking down at the northern end again. Tedesco, Dugan. And Dugan is backslammed into the ground over there by Thurston and Boyd. Ferguson for Pearce. Long pass to the middle of the ground. Graham, oh, it's gone off the shoulder of Cordner. And Gillette goes away, gets the ball to Cronk, and Cronk is cut down by Tedesco.
As they did in game 1, the Blues running the ball on tackle 5 from the right-hand side of the field rather than kick. Nearly found a gap that came up with an error, and Queensland nearly broke away.
It's a huge 4 minutes from both teams here. Queensland would love to get on the board again in this danger period, give them something to work off early second half. The Blues have missed some opportunities in the last few minutes. They can come back to haunt you.
Thurston squashed in that tackle from Clemmer. And here's Smith now going away from dummy half, running towards Valentine Holmes. And they're 17 metres away from the Blues line. With just over 3 minutes of the half remaining. Thurston rolls one in, covered up by the captain, Cordner, taken by Slater.
He usually goes to the air in those situations, Thurston.
Yeah, that was a weird kick, Gus, wasn't it? I mean, he's got some great jumpers in Gagai out wide. And he just put it on the ground.
This is Morris. Ferguson coming over from the far side of the ground. That's a ball played by the winger and taken away by the winger. Here's Trebojevic again.
Gee, he's been good.
What an exciting 10 minutes it's been for him. Now for Pearce, and he rakes a ball back, rubbering across the ground to be taken by Gagai. And he's tackled over there by Nathan Peets and Wade Graham. So now for Boyd. 40-metre line. Game 3 weeks away from tonight at Suncorp in Brisbane. And we know that it'll be the farewell game for this man, Jonathan Thurston, as it goes away to Morgan, now to Boyd. It may well be for Cooper Cronk as well.
That pass out of dummy half was a metre forward then, Rabbits.
In fact, we're watching the spine of Queensland, probably the best spine ever in the game, the way we know it today anyway. We're watching them for the last time in Sydney. And here is a ball out inside to Slater. That might have hurt him there, but it's gone across. And Thurston puts a kick in. Tedesco's got it covered. Can he get back? I don't think so.
Yeah, heavy collision. James Maloney reads the out ball, in ball here. And he hits Slater, but the ball is kept alive, and Thurston's able to get a grubber kick into the in goal. He reads the out ball, in ball, Gillette. Big hit by Maloney on Slater, who had the presence of mind to unload. The ball comes to Thurston. He gets a little kick off the outside of the foot, and Tedesco is corralled. Big minute coming up here. Big minute for both sides.
Woods between Maloney and Slater. Line dropout is good. It's over 50. In fact, it went 57 on the fly. Papali then brings it back, and gee, that's a heavy tackle. Trebojevic again.
Wow.
So now Thurston at close quarters to the ruck, and he gets the ball to Cooper. Cowboys teammate Gavin Cooper plays the ball. Smith turns it in. Glasby puts the bumper bar up and takes it down. 12 out. Penalty goes to Queensland. They've got a few seconds.
20 seconds. Need to produce some magic.
So Smith taking the tap. And that's Glasby playing at 8 metres out. Papali a decoy. Cronked for the line, pulled down by Trebojevic.
Try saver, Trebojevic.
Now Smith, long, out to Thurston. Now to Cooper, run around. The numbers are there. Morgan for the line. Does Morgan get it down?
The Blues fans are cheering. They think they held him up. The referee's going to have a look at it, I think.
Yeah, well, Ferguson is really congratulating Dugan here.
No try.
He's saying he didn't get it down.
Make sure it doesn't get to the ground, mate.
Cronk looked like scoring for sure on the previous play. Trebojevic held him up. And if Dugan's got a try saver here, they are two big moments.
We can see as the ball crosses the goal line that it's held up.
Yeah, it gets caught there. It's going nowhere. Unless he
The
can
last
roll
point
it
we
over
saw
there.
it on the front on camera, the ball was off the ground and remains off the ground. Have a decision and going to the board.
Checken, of course, has ruled no try.
Well, that's two
it's
big
going to be
plays.
turned down.
Two big plays, Rabbits, isn't it? Trebojevic and then Dugan. Two massive plays on the stroke of half-time.
So it is half-time. It's no try. It's 16-6 as we go to the break. And let's go out onto the ground. Brad Fittler. Yes, Brad?
Mitchell, I'm sure it was nice scoring the try, but what's it like when you see a couple of try saves?
Yeah, mate, that's what Origin's about, isn't it? Saving tries. Great tackle there by Dukes on the bell, but as they always are, it's a hard-fought battle. It's going to be a big second half, mate.
40 to go, mate.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, Lockie.
Bill, what do you make of the first 40, mate?
Yeah, it's quick footy, mate, and they just got us on the inside on a couple of plays. Just got to tighten up a little bit around there and hold the ball a bit. Momentum swung a few times in that game.
Right, thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Up to you, Brace.
Thank you very much, Darren. Yes, 16 points to 6. It's the home side, New South Wales, with a 10-point buffer over Queensland at the break. In just a moment, Andrew Johns and Wally Lewis pick apart the first 40 and look ahead to the second half. You're watching State of Origin 2 exclusively live right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
And we're back at Olympic Park, ANZ Stadium, and of course, very parochial crowd and a lot of sky blue out there, jumpers, and of course the Blatchies blues, and this is pretty much what they wanted. They wanted this lead, 16-6 at half-time, but as you come to learn over a long period of broadcasting, particularly Origin, it ain't over until they're finished, because Queensland have done some of the Houdinis of rugby league, believe me.
Well, they've got to improve their ball control. Very un-Queensland-like in the first half, completing only 10 sets of 6 out of 15 opportunities. They need to fix that up. They also need to fix up their contact in defence, because the Blues are sort of pulling through them on every run, giving them the advantage. Darren Lockyer is with the Queensland coach.
Kev, how was the mood at half-time?
Yeah, we're very positive. We didn't do a whole lot wrong in that first half, to be honest. A couple of little missed tackles through the middle. A couple of some good tries as well. So we're confident we can just tighten up our middle a little bit defensively. We get ourselves back in the game. She's game on again.
That's the key, the middle, second half.
Well, yeah, they just dangerous through there. So we knew they were going to do some damage. So we got to try and just adjust that a little bit. I think our attack's going well. We're looking pretty sharp with the ball. So we get an even share of possession. I think we'll be all right.
All right, mate. Good luck. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
So New South Wales have led through Origin history. They've led 50 times at half-time. Queensland have come back on 12 occasions, though, from a deficit. So 25% of the time, Queensland have come back and inflicted defeat on New South Wales through, as I said, 110 games of rugby league. So here they come again, the Blues.
Well, their second half up in game 1 in Brisbane was outstanding. They led 12-4 at the break, but turned that into a 28-4 victory, 16-0 in the second half. That's the sort of second half the Maroons will need. First try scorer in this second half is vital. The Maroons, it has to be them, I think, if they're going to come from behind to win. And it doesn't matter if it takes 35 minutes to get it. They've got to be first to score, the Maroons.
Cohen Hess yet to come into the game. Same can be said for Jack Bird. Cronulla, haven't they done well, Cronulla, from those tough times they came through? And they've got 5 players in Origin. They and Melbourne are the top 2 clubs providing players for tonight. But it's been a fantastic comeback by Cronulla. They've won the championship, and now 5 players involved in this match tonight.
Peter Sterling's back. You've been down the New South Wales room, Peter.
Yeah, they're in good spirits. I think they realise that they can keep going set to set. They're very confident that they can get on top. I believe that the game 1 was won in the first 15 minutes of the second half, where the Blues were very good. They're looking to start at 1,000,000 miles per hour this second half.
And Maloney sends this one down towards the try line. We're underway in the second half. And here's Papali coming back, and the reception committee was waiting for him. Klemmer and Trebojevic in the main. They played Australian schoolboys together, the front row combination operating out there now for the Blues. 30-metre line then for Queensland, reached by Michael Morgan. Then Glasby, Thurston, Cooper. So Gavin playing the ball short of halfway. Partly with another carry. And then eventually he's banged down. Frizzell low was the chief contributor. And then Thurston puts a kick down towards Tedesco. And Tedesco realises there's no way around here, and I don't want to be put into touch.
Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on James Tedesco. He's picked up a bit of an ankle injury in that first half as Ferguson almost gets through. That was to see James leave the field. This man would go to fullback, Josh Dugan and Jack Bird into the centre, offload.
So Cordner gets a chance to take another 10 metres up towards halfway after a good ball there by Josh Dugan. Pearce then switching it back to the middle of the ruck, and Tedesco runs into Papali and Glasby. Now it's with Trebojevic and then Klemmer. So David 34 metres out from the line. 16-6 at half-time in favour of New South Wales. And Pearce been good again tonight. Up goes Slater. Oh, it's come down with Hayne. It's been propelled forward by Hayne. And so a changeover will operate here.
Well, it must have been propelled forward into Slater. Would have to be the ruling, rather than just juggled. Oh, no, it's been propelled forward off Graham into Hayne.
So Chambers.
Wade Graham started at left edge. Let's push Boyd Cordner over to the right-hand side. Tyson Frizzell into the middle.
Cooper now. Chambers running at Dugan on the Blues' right side defence with Trebojevic. Smith goes behind one to Thurston, who goes to Cronk, who goes to Gillett. And Matt Gillett will play the ball 5 metres into Blues territory. The ball has gone to Michael Morgan. He puts a big kick down the ground, and Ferguson is with it.
The Thurston slipped there and threw the ball up because he knew he couldn't kick. It looked as though it went a mile forward.
It didn't go forward by far, though.
Well, it
just a little.
He was under pressure and he throws it, my God, a metre forward?
Yeah, exactly.
So Peach, now Trebojevic, pretty much picking up where he left off at the 40-minute mark. So Frizzell with a full head of steam running at Morgan. Put down by him and Smith, and now they go to Maloney, who goes long out to Hayne. He dribbles one in. It's another kick. Look out for the second kick, and Slater saves the day back there. That could have been really dangerous.
Yeah, it was nearly look out the other way. Billy Slater picked that up brilliantly off his feet and was off.
Tyson Frizzell limping in back play there. He's picked up a leg injury. This Trebojevic, when he hits them, they stay hit, doesn't he? 40-20 attempt from Cameron Smith.
Tedesco has to put the afterburners on to rake it in. Then he throws a big dummy. Then he splits through. Almost came out the other side. Gavin Cooper and Josh Papali closing the tunnel. And now Dugan beats one, beats two, beats three, falls at the feet of four. And he'll play the ball. 7 metres his own side of halfway. There's Graham. He's met there by Gillett in 12. And Chambers. 16-6 in favour of the Blues, and Clemmer charging ahead. That average age difference, that discrepancy is pretty much the same as it was in game one. New South Wales, on average, 2 years per man younger than Queensland. Here's Pearce working the blind. He's gone to Graham. The grubber has been taken over there by Slater and put into touch. So it's a line drop out.
And there's plenty of the Queensland forwards got hands on hips around their try line, sucking them in already.
It's such an advantage to have a man like Wade Graham who can kick the football after exploring on the last tackle. Again, that Cronulla left side.
Darren on the sideline.
Yeah, I've just been watching Jonathan Thurston since late in that first half, and that shoulder, he's really struggling. He's struggling to pass, so he's out there, and I'm sure the Blues will target him.
Okay, so Maloney it is that marks the ball, and Trebojevic comes back, and he'll play the ball 22 metres out. The first contact was made back on the 30-metre line, so he picked up some post-contact metres there, and now Clemmer. These two prop forwards, they're going good for New South Wales, Clemmer and Trebojevic. And now Frizzell. And Tyson, the Dragon, playing the ball for Nathan Peets. Now for Mitchell Pearce. Now it's away to Maloney, and Gillett comes up and clamps him. Puts him away, Maloney. Played to Peets. Gone to Pearce. Short to Graham. Back to Tedesco. And a little bit of adventurous stuff there by the Blues. And they play the ball on the last. Pearce, he puts his kick in. He's looking for Dugan, who's been taken out.
You okay there, Bucky?
No, they're saying play on. They're pointing up to the 20. Holmes it is that's gone outside the 30. What? Wouldn't mind having another look at what happened to Dugan there. He didn't get a shot at it at all.
Well, they weren't going to let him get near it. He got swallowed up. There it is. They just virtually tackle him.
Well, that's the point. You can't tackle a player not in possession.
They didn't just running off the ball. They tackled him.
That's exactly right. Here's Gavin Cooper now.
Dylan Napper's back on for Queensland. I hope Wallace isn't far behind him.
So here is Napa, taken by Peets and Clemmer. Frizzell, working hard, Tyson.
Starting to struggle, Tyson.
Now Cooper, outside, inside. And this is Boyd with the ball. 9 metres out. If they could snare a try, the sails of confidence would go up. The kick and batted back, and it's gone back again. It's still alive for Queensland. Cronk got it away. Gagai gets it over. Thurston puts a kick on it. And coming out of the deep is Dugan. So Dugan runs it back 10. And now Ferguson says, give me a run. Oh, a big collision there with Napa and Ferguson. Ferguson plays it, and here's a run from Hayne. And Napa again makes the tackle. Help from Morgan. Strong run Hayne. Now Cordner. So there's some big collisions out there. Clemmer now getting it 45 metres away from his own line. 5 gone for the kick. And it's off Maloney's boot. Taken easily by Slater. Taken by Graham. 16-6 and 9 minutes gone second half. Gagai. Collared and pulled down by Hayne, I think it is, yes. Now for Napa. And Peach goes in to make the tackle with Clemmer and Frizzell. The cameras take you down ground level. Cronk gets it on. Chambers is with it. Gives it back on the inside. Here's Boyd. Darius playing the ball on the 40-metre line. Middle of the ground for Cronk. Behind Morgan for Thurston. Now Gillett flies it out the back for Slater. Now to Gagai. Morris has got it. He can't get the ball down. And he throws the ball back in field. It's gone into touch over there.
And again, big ball movement by the Maroons from one side to the other. But the Blues cover them well. Good strength here from Morris. Holds him up. Hayne from the inside. He throws the ball back in field, but it'll get towards the end. Now it actually hits Gagai, which makes it dead end goal, or dead over the sideline.
The most important thing with those big sweeps is that New South Wales players don't make a decision for the Queenslanders. They're not trying to solve the problem before it happens. Just holding and waiting to see what numbers are arriving.
It's a sellout crowd. They certainly didn't want any more. 82,259. ANZ, as we've always said, a wonderful stadium for the big occasions. And they've packed it out tonight. 82,250 people. So played by Cordner. Now Clemmer.
They're really trying to lift the Maroons. They're sprinting up off the line, trying to force turnovers.
Maloney then, sort of a no-look pass to Graham. And Wade Graham playing the ball 40 away from the Maroons line. Lofted ball, ordinary dummy half pass. It's gone out through hands and it's gone on to Dugan. And Dugan's got Boyd and Thurston with him. Not helping him, by the way, but tackling him. So it's played, and Ferguson goes away to Pearce's right foot. And it's going down towards Dane Gagai. He's been safe under the high ball. It was an expectancy that maybe he was suspect under the high ball, but I've seen no signs of that tonight.
Gee, I'd love to see Kevin Walters put Cohen Hess on the field right now. I mean, Queensland need a spark. Someone out there who can make a difference. Napper's gone well since he's come on. Cohen Hess is on the sideline riding a bike. Hope he gets on soon.
Here's Maguire spinning out of a tackle, making a clean break. Gets the ball to Cronk. Cronk puts it back to Chambers. Chambers has got Gagai with him. Goes back inside. Gagai's going over. He gets his 6th try in his 6th origin.
Well, there's a spark.
That's magnificent play there from Queensland. Late in the tackle count. Just missed tackles, staggered line. And all the missed tackles have come in the one movement there. Opportunities to stop the play on the Harvey Norman replay. But the support players kept arriving. Gagai, again, in origin over the line.
The try scored by number 5 for the Queensland 4X Maroons. Now 6 tries in 6 matches. Dane Gagai. 13 minutes gone in the second half. The New South Wales team now leads 16 points to 10.
So Spider Cam coming in over the top of the uprights, at which Cameron Smith will be having a shot to bring it back to 16-12.
I know Gus mentioned it earlier. First try in this second half was absolutely vital.
Jonathan Thurston, I should say, taking the kick. Doesn't bring it back all that far, just outside the 20-metre line. Acute angle for 16 plays 12 after 13 minutes of the second half. And he's nailed it. Never, ever left the line. Well, Darren, here they come.
Yeah, we needed that one, Rabs. Have a look at it. It's great work here from Josh Maguire. Nothing really happening. They come out of the line, Wade Graham tries to put a hit on him. He stays composed, sees Cooper Cronk. But have a look at this ball here. Chambers, he beats Hayne, comes through, and Gagai comes from one side. He just trusts him to be there. Fantastic ball from Chambers. They needed that.
Time you run, boys.
And the coach is happy.
Well, it's a bonus. It came from nowhere. They weren't going too far. Maguire was able to swivel out of a tackle, and the outside backs finished it off superbly. So, game back on. It's never, ever easy, is it?
They're never beaten. They've proved it over all of the years of Origin. I said at half-time, they've provided some of the Houdinis of rugby league, Queensland. Here they are, 4 points behind now. Played by Maguire. This is Cooper. 30 metres out, taken by Cordner and Pearce. Now they go away to Morgan.
Queensland were losing the battle in the forwards early in the second half, and once Kevin put on Nafa and also Josh Maguire, they regained it. Here's Thurston now.
And it's gone away to Chambers. He rolls it down the ground. It bounces down to Tedesco. And Chambers and Gagai, they make the tackle jointly.
Yeah, just going back to that try, there was no need for Wade Graham to rush up the way that he did. It was late in the count. Again, he made a decision for the opposition.
Play by Morris. Here's Ferguson. Two wingers getting involved back to back. So play by Blake. Now for Wade Graham to take it ahead. And Cohen Hess is about to enter the Origin arena. Doesn't turn 21 until August. This very big youngster from the Townsville Cowboys, the North Queensland Cowboys. And Pearce's kick has gone over the head of Gagai. So Dane's got a problem now to get it back, and he can't.
What a kick. What a kick. Mitchell Pearce. His experience there, he gave himself a little bit more depth. Flew it up high into the air. Gagai didn't even know it was coming at him initially. And he actually looked at, and then he saw it was coming his way, overran it. Not sure if he touched it at all, but had to play at it. And Morris and Hayne back up the kick. That's a big play.
I don't reckon he did touch it because he's half by dilly-dallied after it. And then too late, good chase by the Blues. But Cohen Hess is on there now. He's been fantastic in club football. 10 tries in 22 games. I was in the Queensland dressing room before and he walked past me. I thought it was an eclipse. He's a massive beast.
So here's Trebojevic now on the kick return. 30 metres out. There he is, 190 centimetres, 111 kilos.
He's playing in the middle, and Laurie Daly's reply is to put Josh Jackson back out there.
And here is Jackson. He rolls the play down towards the 10-metre line to be tackled by Gavin Cooper. Now it's gone away to Pearce and then on to Maloney and now on to Tedesco. Hayne tries to really put a smart pass, if that's the right word, out towards Morris, but it's gone into touch.
Nothing smart about that play.
Well, it's unnecessary. And I know the Blues scored their first try with a couple of those second-man plays, but they look much better when they play flat and turn the ball back inside rather than trying to go around them. And this is that sort of football is the mistakes they've made in previous years. Hayne knows it. That's the mistake they've made in previous years. They've played into Queensland's hands. And every time they do that, it gives Queensland a little bit of encouragement.
For the Maroons with Chambers. Taking play to the middle of the ground, just outside the 20. There's a carry for Hess. And as the ball finds its way to Maguire now. So Josh Maguire inside the 40-metre line. And Smith around the corner ball to Slater. Slater picked up and pummeled into the ground by Graham. Gillett over in back play looks to have suffered some kind of an injury.
Yeah, he was tackled off the ball, Ray. He was a support player. Last tackle.
Cooper plays the ball. Smith goes over to Cronk. And Cronk puts it high down to Ferguson. Ferguson was doing the hippie shakes there for a moment, but he got it in. And Fafita's going back into the game. So Brett Morris makes good meters there. 35 away from his line. Now for Dugan. Here's Cordner. Runs down that blind side, and Jonathan Thurston does his best to make a tackle with Napa. Pearce turns it in for Fafita. Napa over the top. Cooper involved. Ball goes to Pearce, onto Maloney, then to Graham. Graham puts a kick in. It might be too heavy. Oh no, they've had to play at it. It's back into the field of play anyway. Billy Slater getting it back into the field of play. Gagai slips out of a tackle. Lost the ball. It's a steal. It's a steal. It's a penalty to Queensland.
Wow. Another great kick by Wade Graham, and the Blues putting a lot of pressure there in defence.
Cohen.
But a fumble has come up with a penalty. Watch Wade Graham again, keen to shift it on 5, brings the defence up, kicks, even gets it past Slater, who's got to go back for it. That's brilliant play on tackle 5. And what's happened here? The ball's come, well, gee whiz. Anyway, play on.
So there they are, getting up towards halfway again now, Queensland. Thurston out the back for Slater. Slater dummied towards Boyd, and he takes the tackle, stays in the field of play, 30 metres out. Main tackler was Dugan. Now it's for Boyd, at first receiver, then Maguire. And Maguire is put down by 3 New South Wales tacklers, including Jackson. Smith dummies once, goes away to Thurston. Thurston to Cronk. Cronk to Chambers. And Morris has got him over there and puts him into touch.
Gee, they've done that well tonight, the Blues. Now we get a little bit of restlessness. The game is on the line. The result is in the balance. They take exception to each other's little pushes and shoves. But every time they've gone spread on spread, the Blues have followed them across the field. See how they hold back, hold back, hold back. They're waiting for Queensland to make a decision. In the end, Chambers has got to run. Last time he got it, he kicked it because he didn't feel like it was on offer.
Yeah, but Brad Bittler said it before in the first half. When you on a dewy night like tonight and the field's slippery, you can't afford to take that chance to get near that sideline.
We've got a HIA here for James Tedesco. Jack Bird comes on. And we'll play in that centre position with Dugan going to fullback. Down to you, Brad.
Yeah, we're just debating what they were going to do. Jack Bird just watching Jared Haynes the last couple of minutes, come up with an error. Then he come up with a penalty, and then all of a sudden he throws someone out over the sideline. He's quite unbelievable, Jared Haynes.
Here's Fafita with a charge. Out to the 30-metre line, the big man. Playing it back for Peach to go away to Clemmer. Clemmer is met by Gillett and by Napa and Cronk, but he still made some good ground. Here's Fafita shaping to pass. Tackled on the halfway for a big man, played it quickly. Pearce, he puts a kick high down to Slater. He's back on his 10-metre line, Billy. Jack Bird is chasing in 17. Jackson eventually making sure of the tackle, and that's Jackson again making the tackle on Napa. Away they go to Chambers now, and Maloney goes in. Needs the help of Peets over the top. Hayne got involved. Smith puts the ball away to Holmes. Valentine Holmes. He's 38 away from his own line. Maguire, Thurston beats one, gets it round the corner to Slater, and he's ridden into the ground by Bird on the halfway line. Here we go into the last play of this set, and Thurston gets it going end on end, and Dugan back at fullback lets it go.
That was a classy little bit of play there by Thurston with the round the corner pass. They rushed up outside him. He showed a couple of dummies and then gets it around the corner. Look at that dummy, round under the arm of Pearce to find Slater. And then again, a strange kick on tackle 5. Not really looking to compete for the ball or force an error, just get it out of play and walk down for a scrum. Only 4 points the difference, so they're still in touch.
Just over 16 minutes of the game remaining. 16-6 at half-time. It went to 16-12 at the 53rd minute when Dane Gagai scored his regulation origin try. This is Jack Bird playing the ball inside the 40 for Peach. Now for Maloney. Maloney got the ball away. It went to ground and now it's picked up by Morris. But there is a penalty here. A penalty to Queensland.
They've got to be careful here, the Blues.
Well, the big three have come together over there for a powwow. Smith, Cronk and Thurston.
Yeah, 15 minutes to go. They're on the springboard. They're only 4 behind. And they're starting to plot. If they get to the front, you know what these great players can do.
So the free will be taken 35 out. And Maguire takes it to the middle of the ground. Cronk is setting up on the blind side. As Smith goes to Thurston, they bring Slater into the play. And Slater is 15 away from the line now. Pearce making the tackle. Cooper the 11. Thurston getting it on. Smith away. Napa with the ball. Dillon will play it 10 metres out, right in front. Third tackle gone. Back they come for Thurston. He goes back deep for Slater. Turns it round the corner. Back on the inside for Boyd. Boyd swerves away again. Now he's gone over towards Chambers and Gagai. And the tackle's made by Brett Morris. 20 metres out. 4 tackles gone. Now for Gillett. That's 5. Thurston curling it left, but they go to the right, and it's well taken by the prop, Aaron Woods. Dugan then playing at fullback, making a run to the 20-metre line. Coming up to 13 minutes of the game remaining. And the Blues leading the Maroons 16-12. 13 minutes away from a series victory. Their second in 12 years, perhaps. Pearce. It's one of these towering bombs away to Gagai. And Gagai, again, almost saying chewy on your boot to those people that thought he might be prone to put 1 or 2 down.
Yeah, that's good field position to start for Queensland. 35 out from their own line. Valentine Holmes coming in looking for the football. This is where the great players rise to the occasion. And we know the Queenslanders have plenty of them. New South Wales need to make sure they find some.
Napa on the halfway. Cronk back to Smith. Smith up the middle. Now to Cooper. Held by Pearce and by Cordner. Thurston runs from the open, goes to the blind. Smith goes back to the open, gets the ball to Maguire. So Queensland with 5 tackles gone again. 25 out from the line. And Cronk puts up a kick. Oh, Slater was taken by Graham in back play. And it's taken over there by Dugan. And Dugan brings it out towards the 30-metre line. It didn't look to be much in it, but I'm sure there was interference on Slater. So,
yeah, no doubt. Should have been a penalty to Queensland. Wake Graham changed his line to get back in the way of the fullback coming through.
Play by Bird. Now it's with Woods. Flops it back for Fafita. And Andrew, as somebody, I think it was Paul earlier tonight, made the point that they've put a harness on Fafita. He still represents quite a problem, but they've limited him. That's what Kevin Walters was saying in the pre-match discussions. We can't stop him, but we can limit what he does. Graham then for Pearce, and he gets a kick away. It's a big kick down to Slater. And Slater had a foot draped in the in goal.
Well, that's brilliant awareness from Billy Slater and execution.
Time off.
To know where he was in relation to the try line.
Called time off.
Haven't given the go, mate. Swap, Derry.
Starting to look a little bit tired, New South Wales.
Gee, he's been strong Napa in the second half.
So 11 minutes to go. And Thurston turns it in for Cohen Hess. And Jackson is there with Peets. And Smith gives it to Maguire to roll it out to Woods and Cordner to make the tackle. 40 metres out from their own line. Third tackle about to be played. Cronk looking inside for Hess. He swerves himself. He goes inside the 30. Dugan takes him. Ball and all. So Smith out to Thurston. Back it comes to Hess. So Cohen is 15 out from the line. Played to Cooper. And Cooper is taken by Pearce. Bird come out of the top. Here's tackle 5. And Smith it is, who asks a question. Gets it to Thurston. Dugan will get back. Dugan gets out. Gets away. 12 metres. Good ground.
There's two massive plays by Dugan. The tackle on Cronk, and then fielding the ball in his in goal and getting it out into the field of play. Look at the Maroons now, charging in. We've got a player down injured.
Yeah, it's the man who rushed in on Blake Ferguson as James Maloney throws a wide ball to Brett Morris.
Time off, Church. Tackle 3. Tackle 3.
Looks like Chambers.
Yeah, well, Chambers had come infield to chase a kick, so he lined up in defence and then tried to line up Ferguson for a big hit. I'm sure it was Ferguson. Come charging in. Let's have a look. Bang, yeah, and I think there's a clash of heads there. And Chambers has gone down. That's the end of his night. This game is well and truly in the balance. 9.5 minutes to go. Queensland are surging. New South Wales has stopped playing. They've stopped attacking. They're trying to protect the lead. And that's invited Queensland back into the game. The tackle on Cronk was outstanding.
And Michael Morgan, the man to replace the injured Chambers. Yeah, ball and all, that's a ripper.
And Josh Jackson absolutely exhausted. Now interchanged by Jake Trebojevic. This break of play might not have hurt New South Wales.
So it looks like Morgan will go to centre to replace Chambers. His night's over.
That's tackle 3.
The Blues have still got to be thinking scoring a try.
So Graham it is with the restart of play. Queensland's senior players still having strong dialogue, still of the belief that they can win this one. Pearce, knocked on over there by Hayne. So a chance again for the Maroons.
Well, here we go. 9 minutes remaining. 16-12. Billy Slater's been really good the second half as well. He's made a lot of ground every time he's got the ball. Laurie and the staff not happy.
Well, every time they do that, Queensland is gaining confidence.
So the scrum right on the halfway line, and Thurston to Slater, to Gagai. Gagai is 8 metres into opposition territory. Cooper. Brad, an injury update quickly.
Yeah, well, James Tedesco, he'll be ready to come on in about 3.5 minutes. That'll give him 5 minutes of play.
So Cameron Smith then takes a look at his choices and he's given it to Maguire. Maguire pulled down just outside the 20. Third tackle, Tedesco waiting to come in. Thurston makes his way through. He's 8 metres out. Thurston up and playing it. There was a call, maybe he's hurt, but Cronk is now taken by Trebojevic. Last tackle then for the Maroons, and they come away with their captain. It came off a player who didn't play at the ball. Napa gets the ball away. Here's Gillett. Gillett gets, it's a wild pass and it's gone over the sideline.
I think Laurie Daly needs to make a change here and get one of the front rowers off. Not ideal to have Woods and Fafita on there at the same time. I don't think Tyson Frizzell can be right, otherwise he would have to be out there. The Maroons are coming to get them.
So Ferguson, 7.5 minutes to go. Graham to the 30-metre line. Gus is right, they're playing protective football. Woods just inside the 40. Tackler was Hess. Peets got it on to Fafita. Hess again involved with Napa. Middle of the ground. Maloney to the line. A short ball down to Graham. And Gillett it was that made the initial tackle. Just outside the 30-metre line, and Hayne puts a kick in that'll roll down to Billy Slater, and Slater is taken by Hayne and Morris.
Good play.
8 metres out from his own line. Now for Gagai, and suddenly the Blues have found another ounce of energy, getting up and meeting Queensland. Lost ball by Napa. It's a penalty. It's been stolen according to the referee.
There's another big body collision. Laurie wants to know what happened. Here it is. Napa goes up. Is there a hand in there somewhere? Well, there was, late, from Graham.
Yeah, it was Wade Graham. Got himself involved in a few incidents in this second half that has seen a penalty go against him. Although he might have got away with the Slater one. Now it's with Thurston. Here's Slater. He gives it to Boyd. He chops back in the direction of Fafita, runs around Peets, comes to Woods, and Woods and Peets, they take him to ground. Smith then, up the middle, around the corner, around the front of the man playing the ball, and this is Maguire. We've had 3 tackles go, so they've got a good chance here, and here's a run for Cooper, running off his clubmate Jonathan Thurston. 4 tackles gone. Smith then runs to the line, gets the ball onto Cronk. Cronk's able to get it away. Back to Smith. Smith taken from behind by Maloney. He's looking for a quick play, the ball, Smith. He gets it back and Morgan gets the ball away. Out to Cronk. He kicks and here's a big fly put down there by Bird. And the ball is loose. What's he ruling?
Knock on by the Blues. This will be a Queensland feed. Josh Papali's gone back on. He'd be pretty handy close to the line. Queensland, the series is on the line here.
Hang on, mate. We have
4 minutes remaining.
Time off.
Down 1 game, down 16-12. This is it.
Well, they've done unbelievably well, the Queenslanders. They've dominated this second half. The Blues really haven't got into their rhythm at all. They were in full control at half-time. But the Maroons have come fighting back, and now 4 minutes left on the clock, 4.5 minutes. Queensland are within reach of the go-ahead try.
This is Origin.
So to the right side they go, and Slater pushes away from Graham, gets the ball onto Gagai. Morris had eyes for that sideline again. Morgan to Cronk, and Cronk to Napa. He's taken on the second tackle, 10 metres away. for the Blues. A matter of minutes away from winning the series, but the Maroons never say die. Here they come, and Boyd loses his footing. So 3 tackles gone. Thurston away to Cronk. Now it's out to Smith. Smith behind Napa for Slater. Slater to Morgan. Flick pass. Gagai is over.
There it is.
Gagai goes in to score. It's 16 all. Gagai has scored his 7th Origin try.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Again, spreading from the left-hand side of the field right across to the right-hand side. They looked like they had it covered. It was Smith out wide who combines with Slater, and his speed on the Harvey Norman replay gives Morgan room. Beautiful flick pass. They don't close from the inside. Queensland with a kick to go in front.
With 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, 16 all.
So he's really turned out to be something of a hero, hasn't he? Dane Gagai.
Oh, he's good.
7 tries in 6 Origins. He got 3 in 1 game.
What
And
about
now
this man?
16 all with this kick.
How many times in his career has he had a kick like this to win a match?
Darryl Halligan, who's the great goal-kicking coach in the league. I said to him one time, if you had to have one man kick a goal to save your life, who would you get to do it? And he said, there are a lot better ball strikers than Jonathan Thurston, but if my life was on the line, he's the one I want to kick. He said he just wills them over. So he's got to will this one through the posts for Queensland to keep their series alive. The one man he would have take a kick to save his life.
And here he comes. I'll let you listen to the crowd when he hits this. It's coming back. 18-16.
He wills it through the post.
Unbelievable. What a player, what a goal kicker. Now Queensland have to watch out for the short kickoff because it'll be on.
He aimed this way outside the right hand upright. Trusted his technique.
Look at the work Slater does here. He draws in 2 or 3 of them, and then that lovely inside ball from Morgan. Short kickoff.
And it's come down to Ferguson.
They've got it back, New South Wales. They've got a chance.
So Fafita a dummy half, and then to Pearce, and now Trebojevic. He'll play the ball 30 metres out from the Queensland line. It's Queensland by 2. 12 unanswered points since half-time. Pearce. We saw the determination of the 7 for New South Wales in Queensland. He was about to try and perform it again right there. Now for Dugan, that's 5. And they go away to Maloney. He sets to kick. He kicks towards Gagai, and he comes down with it again.
That might be it.
Oh, you'd think they'd get another set, the Blues.
Well, with the game on the line, it wasn't a very productive set of 6 there by the Blues. Came down to a 5th tackle kick, trying to get the points, but never competed.
Papali. Gagai. He's played an enormous part in all of this. And Smith it is that kicks. Straight to Tedesco. 45 seconds to go. It's 18-16 in favour of the Maroons. Getting all dressed up and ready for 3 weeks tonight to try and lift the series and send off Jonathan Thurston. It's looking more and more apparent as the seconds tick away. Aaron Woods with 15 seconds to go.
This could be the last play.
So here is Pearce to the line. He goes long. Jared Hayne, he got blocked for a run. Bird is there, not quite sure where to go. Fafita dummies back to him. Knock on by the Blues. Picked up by Papali. And Papali is tackled. And that is it. Another Houdini. Another unbelievable comeback by Queensland.
Well, it's a 12-0 second half. Totally outplayed in the first half, 16-6. They have come up with a 12-0 second half. A pressure goal from the champion Jonathan Thurston to give them the go-ahead score. And that is an incredible win that now sends us to Brisbane for a decider. A decider that will be Jonathan Thurston's last game for Queensland. Cooper Cronk's last game for Queensland. What an event that'll be.
The final score in Game 2, Queensland, coming from 16-6 down at half-time, have won 18-16.